the historical significance and symbolism in Halloween. So what is Halloween? I mean, as black people, we've grew up celebrating Halloween. And like all of these holidays, we never actually ask, why do we even do them? What is this thing that we do every October 31st, all of our lives, from children to grown people, that we celebrate this thing and we don't even know why we do it? All we know is that it's something that people was doing before we were even born. Now, the original name of what you know as Halloween was a festival called Samhain, and it was on November 1st. So they would kick it off on October 31st at sundown. And during this time, there were all type of pagan festivals and rituals that happened. And so we're going to get into some of those things that actually happened so you can actually see what the true foundation of Halloween is. So Samhain was celebrated by the ancient Druids and Celtics, and it marked the end of summer and the beginning of winter. During this time, people would actually harvest all their food and try to gather as much as they could to prepare for the winter. Winter is coming is the term. So during this time, they would actually sacrifice the kings. Now, if it was a year that was a real bad year, bad crops, no rain, and just a poor year, so we know that this was a practice because when archaeologists pulled the bodies out of the bogs of Ireland, which preserved the bodies very well, they could look at the clothing and tell that these were kings, and this was a common practice, and this is in the history of ancient Ireland. So on Samhain, they would do ritualistic sacrifices of their own kings. Now, when it came to Samhain, fire was a big thing also. So people would set bonfires and do different rituals like hopping over the fire, running over the fire, laying down and letting the smoke go over your body, and also throwing people into the fire and sacrificing them. This festival was called Samhain or Samhain. Later on, Pope Boniface VI changed it to All Saints Day or All Hallows Eve. Eventually, it became Halloween, or what you know today as Halloween. So during this time of Samhain, people actually believed that the door between the living and the dead was open so that spirits can enter the world of the living and roam the streets and harm people and do things and eat food. So what people would do to ward off the spirits is they would prepare a plate of food and put it outside their door for the spirits to eat. In some cases, people would leave their door open and prepare a place of rest for the spirit. This was a common belief during that time. Now, you probably wonder why people put on costumes during Halloween. Well, because the people feared those spirits, they felt that if they dressed up and looked close to a spirit, that it would ward the spirits off or that the spirits wouldn't notice them. So during this time, people actually put on the skins of freshly slaughtered animals. You see, it was about to be winter, and so when people would slaughter the animals, they would just make a mask out of the animal's head. So people would fashion animal skins and skulls into costumes and wear them during Samhain, or what you know today as Halloween. So during this time, not only did the world of the living and the dead cross, genders also crossed too. During Samhain, people cross-dressed. You would have men that would dress up as women and go and knock on doors asking for food and hospitality. In some accounts, they would go into people's houses and clean up like a housewife would and hum and sing along as they did it. Last but not least, child sacrifice. Now, the old legends of Samhain talk about people giving 2/3 of everything they had, their corn, their milk, their crops, and including their children. They had a pagan deity named Crom Croc in who they would sacrifice their firstborn to. The founder of the Satanic Church had this to say about Halloween. This is the founder of the Church of Satan, Anton LaVey. This is what he said. Basically said, by dressing up, either by wearing a costume or by coloring oneself in celebration of Halloween, signifies that you allow Satan to own you. He further said that when you adopt the pagan practices, you subconsciously dictate yourself to the devil. He took joy in Christians who take part in tradition, saying, I am glad that Christian parents let their children worship the devil at least one night out of the year. Welcome to Halloween. Now, this is the founder of the Satanic Church in America. And he is telling you that your children are worshiping paganism and satanic deities. Now, as a black person, I just gave you multiple reasons why you shouldn't be celebrating Halloween or why you just should drop the holiday altogether. It's because number one, it's satanic. Number two, it's pagan. And number three, it is not your culture. When we were growing up, they always said, don't talk to strangers. They said, don't trust anyone as a child. When a stranger comes up to you, try to give you some candy, don't trust them. But yet we send our children during Halloween to strangers' homes. You send your child to Jeffrey Dahmer's house. You send your child to a serial murderer's house. You send your child to a pedophile's house. You send your child to a registered sex offender's house because you want your child to be happy and you want to give them everything, when in reality, you might just be putting them in the fire and sacrificing them. Now, I ain't gonna hold you. Do what you do, bruh. Do what you do, sis. But now you have the information. So let me know what you think about this video. Put your thoughts and your opinions in the comments. And of course, you know what it is. This is Black Authentic Truth.